We hope that the Almighty will hold unto us and overlook our weaknesses and the things that we don't do as we should do. God willing, He will guide us without causing us pain. Isaiah, as we said, Isaiah 50 verse 7 says, "Hearken to me, you who know righteousness, a people that has my Torah in their heart. Fear not reproach of man, do not be afraid of the no-sayers, of the no-gooders, of the revilers, of the intellectuals, of the pseudo-intellectuals, of the non-intellectuals, all of whom find reasons to reproach us and revile us, and from their revilings be not dismayed." Then he says in 50 verse 16, "Say to Zion," that is the Judah, the people of Israel, "say to Zion, you are my people." Isaiah 51 says the city of Jerusalem will be delivered. The coming of salvation will be announced. 51 verse 9 burst out in song, "King together. Sing together, O ruins of Jerusalem, for the Lord has consoled his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Almighty will prepare the ways for his people to return." Isaiah 52 verse 6 that says, "Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that does speak unto them. Behold, it is I." God speaks to us through the Bible and through those who study the Bible. In truth, God speaks to us through them, through ourselves, through our learning and understanding, and through listening to those who learn the Bible and learn the Bible before us. That is how God speaks to us. And the Bible tells us how previously Judah will have been persecuted and oppressed, and of sorry appearance. This will change. Isaiah 52 verse 13, "Behold my servant." He refers to Israel as my servant, the servant of God. Isaiah 52, "Behold my servant shall prosper. He shall be exalted and lifted up, and he shall be very high. As many wondered about you, who marred his appearance is that from a man, his features from that of people. So shall he cast down many nations. Kings shall shut their mouths because of him. What had been told them, they saw, and what they had not heard, they gazed." Judah has succeeded through the strength of God, through the guidance of God Almighty, to surprise the world, to do the unthinkable, the indescribable, feats that if you wrote them in a work of fiction, they would not be believed. The Almighty has guided the state of Israel in this, and we have, thank God, carried out wondrous efforts of self-defense, and we have been helped from on high by the Almighty. Think of how think of the beepers and what insights, what inspiration enabled the beeper project to be undertaken, to prepare the beepers in a certain way, to distribute them in a certain way to certain people, and to have them go off at a certain time in the way they were supposed to, and then the next day go off again in walkie-talkies, and to have an effect, a psychological and physical effect that enabled us to defeat and disable a formidable opponent. That was a feat of miraculous deliverance, even more than an open miracle would have effected. In the book of Isaiah, we often come across the term servant, my servant, servant of God in Isaiah is either a prophet in some cases, or a holy person, or the whole nation of Israel, or the two nations of Israel, Judah and the 10 tribes, or one section of them. And especially, more often than not, it refers to the people of Judah, of the Jewish people. The early Zionists and the religious settlers of the Holy Land, which is now the state of Israel, which developed into the state of Israel, which laid the basis for the state of Israel, are described as servants of the Almighty. See Psalms 102, Psalms 102, verse 14, you will rise and you have mercy on Zion. He's talking to God Almighty, you will rise. You have mercy on Zion, on the people of Israel, on the Jewish people, have mercy on Zion, for there's a time to favour it, for the appointed season has arrived, the time has come. For your servants desired its stones and favour its dust, the people started to come back and build up the land. They're guided by an unseen hand. And then the British helped them a lot, despite towards the end wavering and being indecisive, just when they needed not to be that way. But thank God the Jews came through it. And we should give favour and recognise help that was given to us when we needed it, even though the people who gave it to us, in some cases, tried to renege or half reneged, or they were misled by their leaders to backtrack. Should recognise that we were helped, and this help was decisive, and the help was according to the will of God Almighty.